Alright, good mornings. It's about 6:30 in the morning on Sunday, the June 12th, 2022. I'm just about ready to pack up here. Got the sleeping bag already rolled up and everything, so it's just a matter of folding the bed up and putting it back on the bike. I like to leave the bed out as long as I can because I can sit on it and tie my shoes and that kind of thing. So I realized I had part of a bag of trail mix and one of my bags. I'm like, ooh, there's breakfast. I had a couple of bananas that I bought yesterday at the Walmart. I bought 6 and I've only got 2 left, so I guess I ate 1 this morning and 3 yesterday. So I'll save the last 2. Yesterday and the day before I didn't have any trash bags at all, so now at least I've got one. I gotta remember when I dump the trash, maybe save the bag unless I buy some more stuff here, so little things like that. On the plus side, like in California, they're having this thing where they don't give you grocery bags anymore, but you can buy one, and these are thicker than they used to be. So it's not the really easily torn ones, so you're supposed to be able to reuse these. So they charge you a dime for them. Not a lot, but and then when I was in Austin, they had the really good reusable bags, and those are super strong. I haven't seen any of those here yet, so which is kind of weird. In fact, I'm pretty sure those were made out of recycled grocery bags anyway, so yeah, anyway. So, and it's always that last, like, okay, are we actually ready to pack everything up? I think we are, so should be on the road easily by 7 at 6:30 now. I was looking at the clouds when I was waking up. It was super gray this morning. It was like I wasn't seeing the sky getting any brighter for a while. Then I realized it was just super cloudy. I think that's going to burn off though. I don't have any cell phone coverage at the moment, so I can't tell if we're going to get a good day or not. Those are blowing pretty fast, so they're pretty low, I think. So I think the wind is coming from the ocean. That way is inland, east. And you can see that's where the bright spot is. So within the trees and the hills, I'm not going to see any sun here for quite a while. So anyway, go ahead and get moving. Apparently I'm not the only person to camp here because there's parts of a broken bottle and I found some trash laying around. So I'm not the first. Probably not the last. Actually slept pretty good. Last night was the first night I've really had any mosquitoes on the whole trip. I've had a couple times where I had one, and I was going to get a shot of it, and I didn't. For whatever reason, there's like first of all, there's a whole bunch of ants here, but they didn't really bother me. But that blue bag, there must have been something on it that they just were going for, because that bag was just about black with ants for a while. Then I put something else down, and they went after that, and the banana peels they thought were okay, but not super good kind of thing. And had some cookies that had icing on them, so when I was done eating them, I put the package down, and it had a bunch of icing in it. And they thought that was pretty good. So these ants are going to be tweaking pretty good for a couple days on the sugar buzz, and then they'll be having withdrawals again. Kind of funny. Anyway, I guess I at this point it's like, all right, I got to bring the bike out of the bush enough so I can finish loading it, and then be ready to roll in a couple minutes. So, all right, Highway US 101 North. There is no restrictions on bicycles now, so that's the good part. The bad part, that's the sun. I'm getting crap for solar right now. It's not been a good day so far. I got about 43 volts out of 54. I stopped at a park and just sat for, an hour and a half or something like that. I was trying to get a little bit of a charge. We're supposed to see some sun at about 2 in the afternoon, maybe 3 in the afternoon. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's getting a little bit through. Even on a cloudy day, you get a little bit. That actually says 2 amps of charge right now, which is kind of funny. So it is working. I just need that for about 12 hours to get a full charge right now. So, yeah. Campsite is about 35 miles away. We're gonna do US 101 for about 10 or 15 miles, and then we're gonna go east again. So, yeah, anyway. It is getting brighter, so that's, oh look, I got a shadow. I haven't had a shadow all day. Yay. All right, let's go. Okay, so I finally got my wish and can legally ride on the freeway, and it's raining and I got no solar and I can't even hardly go. I was like, this sucks. It's not raining very hard. It's like, if I had rain gear, I don't think I'd even put it on for this, but it's just like, well, I can't maintain any speed because I don't have any solar, so I can't get going. Yeah. And according to the GPS, in about 5 miles I get off the freeway again, so that's about the time the sun will probably come out. I'm thinking I should have stopped there when I had a chance. 16 grams of protein in a cookie. I don't think we can beat that. And just in case. Alright, we're getting about 1 amp of charge still. It's up there, just gotta find it. 2:30, little tiny bit of blue. Not really optimistic anymore. Been walking up this part. It's a double switchback, so it's pretty steep. I think I got about 2 more miles of this and then it levels off. I'm not really sure. I started looking before and I just kind of gave up. Sometimes it's better if you don't know. Anyway. That's pretty. Yep, doing good. Well, good as can be expected, right? Wow. I won't say it's worth it, but it's at least nice. I think I'll stay to spell. Yeah, the wind is coming from that way, so it's probably bringing the clouds in with it. Yeah, there's not much for brakes. Tomorrow's supposed to be back to sunny, so on the plus, it's not hot, but I'm still sweating like crazy because it's humid. So, yeah. All right, I see a guardrail. I'm gonna go sit down. Okay, we made the top. Oh man, there's not enough profanities in the day to cover this one. The sun finally came out the last 45 minutes or so. So then I started actually having enough power. I could ride short segments and then walk again. So that speeded it up a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty up here, but oh man. I've got to start thinking more about, is it worth climbing a hill just to get to a campsite? Okay. Wow, okay. Just if I would have thought about it a little bit more, I didn't think it was still going to stay this cloudy this long because the forecast kept slipping back. So anyway, all right, it's 6:30 p.m. Got here a few minutes after 6. I honestly wasn't sure I was going to make it. Oh man, nothing worse than a solar powered bike on a cloudy day. Really makes you question your sanity. Because without the sun, that is just a lot of wind drag and dead weight. On top of all the other stupid things. That's like, I keep reminding myself, it's like, okay, that bag is all the batteries I use for the first 1,500 miles. They're not plugged in right now because they're a different voltage. In the back, I've got 2 full-size bike batteries. Plus I've got 2 spare batteries that might or might not work. So I got a lot of extra weight, plus the tools, plus bunches and bunches of other stuff. One improvement, I'm not wearing this backpack anymore. I've got enough room, I jammed it in there. And all I wear now is the Camelback, the water bag on my back. That seems to work pretty well. Less strain on my back, seems like a good idea. Yeah, oh man. So, typical carnage here. Made up some Gatorades. This is my new favorite thing, I think. Because you can just, buy it, either just, if I, like at the last town, I bought a gallon of water to fill up all my water jugs. Or now that I'm in camp, I can refill everything and just make Gatorade on the fly, and we're good. Okay. Honestly, I ate one of these and I'm not super impressed, but 16 grams of protein is a good thing. I don't know, it's like there's a lot of sugar in there, but they're not very sweet. So I think they check too many boxes. It's vegan and kosher and, no dairy, no soy, no GMO, and 10 grams of fiber, and no eggs. Anyway, it is practically a meal, so that part is good. I think it was a couple dollars, so I bought it and didn't even look at the price. Because you're hungry. What are you going to do? Hey, okay. Moss on the table, that's a nice touch. I think shower first. So allegedly, these guys use the same tokens as the other state campgrounds I was at. So I bought a bunch of tokens at one campsite, and then the next two campsites only used quarters, but one token should be enough for a shower. And I've got multiples, so I might just let it run. So I just stuck them all in with the soap dish. I wouldn't lose them. And then I couldn't remember where the soap dish was. Yeah. Yeah, shower first. Otherwise, let's see, hang on. Gotta say, liking the hat. I've been wearing it under the helmet, and having an extra visor out the front seems like a good idea. I don't know, I mean, when I was, okay, so coming up this, oh man, let me see if I can debrief. I'll figure out the miles maybe later. Oh, yesterday I did 40 miles. It was like yesterday I was like, I was slacking off so much yesterday. It was hot and I didn't really feel like going very fast. So I just didn't. I'd go fast and then I'd stop and take a break, sit in the shade, let the bike get some sun. Oh, there we go, it's better. And then I found a decent spot to camp, so I just parked and camped early kind of thing, thinking, oh, it's only about another 40 miles to this campsite. So I was kind of working towards here from yesterday even. Yeah, maybe it's a trick of light. My face is getting warped. No surprise there. Anyway, so wake up this morning and it's cloudy. I hadn't looked at the forecast. So I did actually get a little tiny bit of rain on me a couple times, but not enough to be a factor. I had stopped at one of the county parks. It was like, basically what was happening is it was like, I'm going along and it was just crap day for solar. So more bikes. I pulled off and parked for an hour and a half, something like that, trying to get a little bit of charge. And it was like a half an amp, 1 amp. It was something was coming in, but it wasn't very much. But by very carefully modulating my power settings, I was able to run most of the day. Well, then the last 20 miles, all of a sudden it's just this crazy hill, and I'd completely forgotten about that. I had looked a couple days ago. I had to climb to 2,600 feet, right? I'm like, oh. And then you finally get to the top, and it was like, for a while there, I mean, if I would have had sun all day today, I probably could have just buzzed up most of it. There was some pretty steep parts that I probably would have wanted to get off and push just to save the batteries. But it was just like, seriously, just crazy, So I walked and pushed, I'll bet 3 miles at least, right? I had just enough sun coming in that I could let the bike do motor assist on the walk-in or walking assist. So it puts in about, a couple amps, and it just kind of 3 miles an hour or something like that. So you're still helping to push it a little bit, but it's mostly pulling its own weight. So that's a really good feature. I'm a big fan of that, because when it's that steep, it would be agony if you just had to push the whole thing up dead, so that helps a lot. Anyway, so finally get to the top, and then it's like a 6% down the other side, so I'm like, crap, no regen again, so I'm just dragging brakes. Finally get down to the bottom, let it kind of coast across the bottom, and I look up, there's another hill. You gotta be kidding me. I'm still, sitting there almost dead batteries, So I literally had like if it was gas, it would have been vapors coming in here. And now the sun is low and we got lots of trees, so I can't get a charge. So what I'm thinking, when we were done the sun trip, Ryan, the guy that was my dealer for the new motor, he had an extra charger, and he talks me into buying it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that would be kind of cool. I've been trying to do this trip all solar powered, but then after a day like today where you just completely wipe out the batteries, it's like, well, that kind of makes sense. Maybe if I could charge the batteries once in a while and get them topped off for the next day. Otherwise, I'm going to have to sit here for another 4 hours tomorrow to get it charged before I leave, because the last 3 or 4 days I've not really had a good charge. So I'm looking around. I haven't seen yet, but if I can find a plug-in somewhere, because I think some of the campsites might have hookups, so if I can find one that's not occupied, I might sneak over there and plug in my battery charger. If not, sometimes the restrooms have chargers, and I am right, like literally, yeah, that's the restroom, which is nice. So the hike and bike, there's 2 hike and bike spots, but a whole bunch of open grass area here, so they could just let a whole bunch of people in there if they wanted to. And as far as I can see, I'm the only one, so yay. The one good thing about today, I think this is Sunday, and it was cloudy and rainy today, so I suspect maybe people would have gone home that were thinking about staying late, kind of thing. So the place appears to be pretty empty. There's a few campers, but not very many, so it should be nice and quiet. So yay, hopefully. But yeah, man, yesterday was super hot, and the day before was 2 days before. I had a lot of really big hills I was just grinding up and down, so I am just wiped out. I'm tired. The bike is tired. I'm like really stinky. It's like a couple times I'm like, oh my God, what is that? Oh, that's me. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this one. There's a limit to what you can do with wet wipes, and we've definitely passed that. So, yeah. Okay, that's it. I think that's it for today. Yeah, a few of you have already seen it. I did manage to get the Golden Gate Bridge GoPro footage edited. One of the issues I'm working on here is the GoPro footage doesn't work well mixing with phone footage for some reason. So I'm like, it just seems to make more sense to have GoPro footage in a separate video. It just looks really weird if I put them together for some reason. The editing program doesn't really like it, and I'm shooting 720p on the phone, and the GoPro is 1080, full HD or higher, and I'm only uploading it at 720 or 360 because it just takes so long on the phone. So sadly, there's a lot of compromises involved here. Maybe I can do something different for next year, but days like today, I'm really looking at my setup again. It's like, well, okay, I know I've got extra batteries that are just dead weight. Yesterday, I think I talked about this a little bit. I was all of a sudden just realizing, like, if I copied some of the other guys that I've seen on the road, move more cargo onto the bike, make the trailer lighter, and then the trailer could just be solar panels and maybe a couple little things instead of a whole bunch of heavy stuff, that would make it a whole lot easier to work with, I think. I'd done it the opposite way kind of on purpose, and I don't really remember why. I think to me it seemed like it was easier to ride the bike if the bike itself wasn't so heavy, but it probably would be better if the bike was heavy and the trailer was light. So you had an idea, but how do you test it without actually going all the way into it? So kind of thing. Yeah, anyway. Probably make some changes next year, maybe sooner. Yeah, shower. All right, bye.